Hi everyone, welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have with us Miss Twisha Prasad, co-founder of Learnifii, a platform that helps parents discover their kids' passion and nurture them by booking from a wide variety of classes such as arts, sports, swimming, dancing, music, guitar, cooking, etc. Twisha is a graduate of IIT Guwahati and has also attended London Business School for MBA. Twisha had worked for about 5 years with companies such as Wipro, Jarvis, MST.ai before starting her own venture, Learnifii. Hi Twisha, welcome to ELI.
Hi Priya, thanks for having me here.
Twisha, I would request you to introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Sure. So I am Twisha. I graduated from IIT Guwahati in 2013 and I've done my master's in management from London Business School. And over the course of the previous 6 years, I've worked across companies like Wipro, Jarvis, Message AI, and VMO. And currently, I am heading the leadership at Learnify. Learnify is basically a platform which allows parents to discover and book various kid activities. We especially venture into the extracurricular space as we believe that it is very essential for the holistic development of a child.
Okay. Twisha, in detail, tell us what is Learnify all about? Like, what is the kind of how many employees are there? What is the kind of audience we receive? Yeah, how many kids are enrolled to a program?
Right. So, to give you an overview, Learnify basically we started out as an offline venture wherein all these activities will be hosted at offline activity centers or preschools. But because of the current pandemic situation, we have shifted it to an online only model. So, currently, all our classes are being conducted online via Zoom or Google Meet, and the age group that we cater to is anywhere from 1 year old to 16 years old. The range of activities also depends on the age group. Like for smaller kids, we have storytelling, yoga, dance classes. Whereas for older kids, we have things like personality development, coding. So obviously, the classes get tailored to the age group of the child. Our audience primarily comprises of, because of the current situation, anybody from India who is taking the classes who has an internet connection. Teachers are also from private schools and they have academic qualifications based on the curriculum that they teach. In terms of the team size, we are three co-founders. One of them is my colleague from IIT Guwahati, and another of them is my friend from JEE preparation days. She's also from IIT BHU. And we are a 10-member team across development, marketing, and business development operations. Yeah, and in terms of, like I told you, our audience also comprises of any mom or any parent and any child between 1 to 16 years of age, pan India. We have also seen some registrations from Dubai and US also because of the current situation. So as of today, in terms of numbers, we have already have 400 plus educators on board. There has been around 4,000 classes which has already been booked on our platform in itself, and we have been recommended, and we see regular sign-ups on a week on week basis, which is at a growth rate of 10%. So I think we are doing pretty good as of now, but we also have to think of how do we scale this up going forward uh, as we spread across more and more categories and verticals, because sometimes we get a request or an inquiry for a class which we don't still have on our platform, so we always have to match the supply and demand in that sense.
Okay. Trisha, tell us when did you think of becoming an entrepreneur and what is your background in the area you are operating in?
Got it. So I have always, like entrepreneurship has always been exciting to me, even during my college days. So because of that, at IIT Guwahati, also we got the options to choose electives every year. So I had chosen entrepreneurship electives in my final years and my third years because I wanted to. I was always attracted to it, but I did not know how to go about it.
Hmm.
And also in our college, we had an entrepreneurship development cell wherein we invited alums or even founders from other IITs or other places who have been successful for talks to like your platform does to help the kids understand what exactly it is about, how the journey is like, because it sounds very hunky dory, but it's not very easy when you start on the idea. So I was always interested in that. Even at LBS, I have taken elective courses on entrepreneurship. But I started out last year in August. While I was working at VMOC, I was inclined, like thinking about starting something of my own. And I'd worked for a while for 6 years, so I had some financial capital and some security in terms of, job wise, like in case this does not go well, I'll always have a backup option of finding a job. So all of that, the academic qualifications, my experience overall helped me to take this decision. And it was easy to start with because I came from a product management background. So I've worked on the in the education and the HR space at a couple of companies. I've also worked at B2C companies. So all of that has helped me understand what problem we are solving, who are our users, what are the problems and the pain points that they have. So my product management background, I would say, has really helped me in shaping the first versions of the products and also understanding how our users are behaving and how they would respond to the features or the product we are bringing them. Uh, so yeah, that has, I think, really helped me from my background.
Okay. Trisha, here is a very interesting question for you. Speaking of product management, I think I have hosted multiple founders and co-founders who are from the product background, and they have
Yeah.
after being a product manager, they have founded successful companies. In fact, they have become serial entrepreneurs as well. So
Yes.
one such person mentioned to me, and I quote and unquote, uh, manager is like a entrepreneur itself. So how do you think what is your opinion on that? How does a product manager translates into an entrepreneur? How does the possibility of a person becoming an entrepreneur increases when he has served in the role of product management?
Yeah, that is a great question. So, uh, I think there's a lot of buzz around product management in general also. So, I constantly get inquiries also about people who want to venture into product management. I think this is a very apt question for them as well. In terms of entrepreneurship, I think it helps because as a product manager, you are dealing with multiple stakeholders. So, like if I have worked in a B2B company in the past, I have always worked with the development team, I have worked with the client success team, I have worked with the CEOs and the management team. So, you get an idea. First advantage that you get is you get to work across teams. So it helps you understand how each function is very important to establish and run a business. Second is you're always thinking of what new features to develop, what new iterations you have to make in your existing product features. So for that, good product managers always are always speaking with users or are always getting requirements from marketing or the sales teams. So you always are vetting those requirements. You're always prioritizing which, because everybody has limited resources and time. Even big MNCs have limited resources and time. You cannot work and launch 20 features in a week, right? So in that sense, it really helps as a product manager because you're constantly vetting and prioritizing. Even as an entrepreneur, you might be speaking to 20 users. Each user comes up with their own problems, their own features that they want. And there is a very big difference in what they want and what they will use also. So a lot of time when I have worked in the past, I have launched features because people told me that they want it. But when I launched it, they said that, they were not using it basically. So again, I have always been trained to think about, let's not see what they're asking to build. We have to always deep dive. Why are they asking for it? Why exactly? So you have to follow the 5 whys as a product manager, which is very true when you're working as an entrepreneur, because as an entrepreneur you even have limited resources and time, because you have to constantly push the product fast, iterate fast, find your product market fit fast. So all of this has helped iterating, problem solving, understanding users, building features based on what they want, not what they are saying. So all of this I think has really helped product people to become successful entrepreneurs. But again, it's not like a necessity. It's not just like if only if you have a product background you will become an entrepreneur, but it helps because you worked across teams, you worked across users.
Okay. Trisha, back to regular questions. Would like to know uh, how did you get started on this journey? I understand that you have a co-founder as well. How did you meet your co-founder, and what are the different discussions that happened initially?
Right. So when I started off, I had this idea. I had tested the idea in my society groups, because in society groups also, there are a lot of moms who are looking out for dance classes, taekwondo classes, and they're constantly messaging that, I got a teacher. Do you have five? If the teacher only comes if there are 5 kids or more. So I had already run pilots at my society group.
If I
So
may interrupt here, would like to know who's came up with the idea. I think both of the co-founders. It would be one person who would have come up with the idea and convinced
yes.
the other person. Can you
Yes.
tell us?
So yeah, so I had come up with the idea, and again, before going to my friend who is now my co-founder, I wanted to be sure that when I go to him, I tell him that, this is not an idea that I just woke up one day and, I came up with that. Because even as friends, people would like to have some validation into how strong your conviction is before you get them on board, because asking anyone to leave their full-time jobs or even work on the venture part-time is a lot of commitment. So you don't want to get people who might get excited with the idea today, but after 2 or 3 months or weeks the passion gets decreasing. That is not what you want. So before I approached him, like I told you, I did a pilot. I ran some experiments in my society group. Then I went to him over a basic normal conversation, phone call. I told him that, I have been thinking of this idea. I have been running some experiments. It looks very promising to me. What do you think? So he was very excited. He also wanted to start something of his own. And we had also we have also done, like I told you, we took entrepreneurship courses in college, right? So we were partners in some of the projects that was required as part of those assignments. So we already had a level of match. And sometimes, like in the past also, we always discuss about ideas or about companies, like how some companies have been successful, what was their business model, how did they, get the numbers of users. So I
Mm.
always discuss ideas with him. So this time also, when I told him that I have already tested this idea, I think it's a big market, he was very happy to come on board with that.
Okay.
And about my second co-founder, we didn't get her immediately. She was always up to date about what is happening, how are we evolving, how are we growing. But very recently, she has quit her full-time job, and now she sees value in our venture. So she has joined over a month back, who is my friend from IIT preparation days. But I think like if anybody is looking out for finding co-founders, I would say that, even co-founders need a little bit of conviction in the idea and traction and growth before getting on board. Like sometimes that some people just come on board, some people might need some of those data as well. So for me, both has worked out. The first co-founder I got immediately after pitching the idea. The second one I got after she saw some traction and some validation in the idea by the market.
Okay. Now my question is, how do you distribute the work, or how do you delegate the work between the co-founders? How in some companies what happens is all the co-founders are working on the same problem, doing the same thing. And in other companies, co-founders are doing different thing. One co-founder is looking after the product, and the co-founder into marketing, then one into operations. How is it with you?
Yes. Yes, again, a very good question. So for us, we have tried to segment our work, because if everybody is looking at the same problem, it becomes, we don't grow very fast as such. So Ankit, who is one of my co-founders, he looks at the tech side. We give him designs, we give him what to build. He manages the entire tech development and managing the team of developers that we have. Neha, who's my other co-founder, she comes from an operations background. She's worked at Tata Steel in the past. She's also worked at Accenture Consulting. So she is managing the entire operations part, like managing the supply and the demand, vetting the instructors, vetting the teachers, making sure that any inquiry that comes does not go loose. We give them a demo in 1 or 2 days. Since I come from a product management background, I look at product and growth, like what features to develop, why we need to develop, how to prioritize it, and also how to get more leads into the funnel. Like Neha's job is to look at the bottom line of the funnel, like conversions. I look at more at feeding the funnel from marketing initiatives or some other initiatives. But since me and Neha both are from a business background, and even Ankit has a lot of business acumen, we do set up time every week to brainstorm on common problems, like what exactly should be the roadmap going ahead in terms of overall growth. So we do ask for each other's support in discussions, but we have segmented our roles. Like ownership is divided.
Okay, okay. Here is my question to you. When you started, you'd have needed some financial runway to build the venture. What is the kind of investment you saw initially before you started breaking even or generating revenue?
So financial runway is required, but since all of us have worked for the past 5 or 6 years, we had some savings which we could put in. So from that point of view, investment was not something which was an issue for us. But we had made a financial plan. Like for 1 year, we need to have this much of capital on these this areas. So for now, we are not break even yet, but the revenue that we generate is enough to cover our marketing costs as of now. But if we want to scale up, we definitely need to put in a lot of marketing dollars, because we are a B2C company, especially. So although we run initiatives like refer and on, influencer marketing, affiliate marketing, we do need good capital to invest for growth. So that is where we are now planning to look for raising capital. But we wanted to focus on finding product market fit first, for which we had substantial savings to pool in for the venture.
Okay. Uh, Trisha, I would like to know what was your first day of entrepreneurship like? What are the things you did on first day?
So first day, I would say I did a couple of things. I spoke to around 20 users. I spoke to over 30 teachers, just to get an idea of what are their problems. How can, so when you are speaking to users, they talk about a lot of other things. If you know how to talk to them, that is also one part of product management, I would say. Talking to users is something product managers know. So a lot of insights came up from there. So I spent my first day only talking to people, and then keeping 1 to 2 hours for myself to list down all the insights that I had got from them. It was nothing like developing a feature, talking to a tech team, nothing like that. I just wanted to talk to user and the teachers first, to know what the problems in the market exist.
What are the challenges you faced along the way?
So one challenge which we are still solving for is managing, the supply and the demand. We are in a marketplace business, so managing supply and demand is one of the challenges. And the second challenge is also the quality of teachers. If any parent is booking a class from us, they expect that since it is from Learnify, the class should have certain quality. So again, we cannot just have any teacher on board and allow them to take any random class. So I think managing supply and demand and making sure we have quality supply is something that is the challenge we are currently solving for. But again, there are many obstacles when you start with like hiring the right team. You make hiring mistakes, making sure that the budget and all is aligned. Financial sense is also very important. Sometimes you spend a lot of money, but not on the right things. So those were also some of the obstacles we faced. But on a business wise, these were the major obstacles we're currently working on as well.
Okay. Twisha, what is your vision with Learnify? Where do you take this venture to? What I'm asking is, what is the final ultimate product that is going to get built out of Learnify?
Okay, so again, it might evolve and change as per the requirements of the users. But long term goal is that we want to be, the first thing that comes into the minds of parents when they are thinking of any extracurricular activities for their child. They should just think that they have to go to Learnify to get any guitar, any storytelling, any coding classes. That is what we want to envision and get into. Again, what we want to give into the hands of users will change based on what they are looking for. But we want to work with schools, with preschools, to give them a curriculum, give them trained teachers. We also want to keep the online module going, because a lot of people might not want to send their children every time to some class. They might still opt for online session after the pandemic gets over. So either in the online case, offline case, we want Learnify to be the only thing that comes in the minds of parents when they are thinking of extracurricular activities or supplementing their child's education in the extracurricular space.
Hmm. Twisha, the domain you are operating in, the teaching extracurricular activities through online platforms, I think many other companies are also coming up with solutions or products in the same space. For example, Eat.fit, sorry, I'm sorry. Uh, I think Cult Fit started their training sessions online, yoga and exercise trainings. And similarly, the other platforms which are teaching dance online, I think Madhur Dixit is uh, doing some proactive work in these areas, and similarly other celebrities as well. So I think this is a booming sector. Can you suggest what are the different ideas that young entrepreneurs can take up in this particular domain and implement to build a very feasible and sizable venture out of it?
Yes, so if you look at the entire edtech space, I think there is a lot of opportunities to innovate. The education system currently is broken, and with the new national education policy, also a lot of pointers have come up in terms of where are the scopes where young entrepreneurs can come up with. So, what I would suggest anybody who wants to venture into the edtech space, either in the extracurricular space or in the academic space, you should always segment your audience. Like 1 to 5 year age group is very different from 5 to 9 age group is very different from 9 to 12 is very different from teenagers. So always think which segment you want to capture on, because the needs and the problems of that segment is different. So and again they're like apart from dance music, there is also a lot of companies that are coming up which teach financial education to teenagers, which are focusing on teaching entrepreneurship to children. Then again there is white hat, which has already solved the problem of teaching coding to children also, right? So there are a lot of verticals segments that are waiting to be disrupted. I think entrepreneurs can pick any one segment and then they can expand once they have nailed a particular area. So that would be my suggestion, because there's a lot of scope in the education segment. Schools curriculum are very old. Whatever we studied like 20, 30 years back is still the same education is being imparted. The type of jobs have changed entirely.
Okay. Tusha, who is your target audience? Is it the parents or is it the children?
Our target audience is ideally the children, but for children who are below 6 or 7 years of age, they are not capable of making their own decisions.
Hmm.
So, in that case, we have seen that parents make decisions for their kids. But
Okay.
after 7 years or 8 years old, what we have observed is kids are making the decisions by themselves.
Hmm.
Like yesterday, only we had a vocal music demo class. When we asked for feedback, it was the child who told us exactly what they felt. Parent always tells us, you can ask my daughter, you can ask my son, because I think children above 8 years are capable of understanding what is right for them or what is not. And that is also not the age where parents can push the child, something that they want them to do. So for below 8 years, we focus on parents. Above 8 years, we focus on both the parents and the children. Experience for children matter most, but decision making or the paying capacity is with the parents. So we also have to consider the parents into consideration, like how much budget do they have.
Okay. Are you a parent yourself?
No, not as of now.
Okay. So, Twisha, here is my question to you. Before that, I'll give some background. So, many of the startups which are into consumer products, what they do is they hire people who have been consumers themselves. For example, I heard a baby nappies product company. They hire parents only those parents who have kids who are wearing nappies, especially the mothers they hire. Uh, I also heard about another startup which is into the space of meat delivery. They only hire the non-vegetarians, right? So how how crucial is it, as per you? How crucial is it for a uh, for an employee to be a consumer also?
Uh, it is good if you have an employee who is a consumer themselves, because you might get some insights from them. But again, as a product manager and as an entrepreneur now, you should always make sure that you don't fall into biases of one person or two-person. You cannot have 25 crore people as your employees. You can only have a limited set of people as your employees. So while they might give you good insights into what your product experience is, you always have to decide by yourself if that is something, if it is resonating with most of your target audience or not. Because you might have a biased pool. Because your employees are every day seeing your app, they are every day seeing your product. So they might not see what a new user will see. In that case, their suggestions are not going to be as crucial as a new user. So it really helps, but I don't think that we should only look at those suggestions or their usage of the product as a metric of the new features or how the product is doing.
Hmm.
Second thing is, to solve that problem also, I think what you also meant was getting user insights directly from the hands of 20, 50
Hmm.
people.
Hmm.
uh, so for that, we have also started an affiliate program. In that affiliate program, any mom can become a Learnify mom consultant. We give them impetuses like commissions on every sale that they do. But for them to become a mom consultant, number one, they need to be a strong user of Learnify's classes so that they know exactly what's going on to recommend their friends. And second is, it also helps us spread the word of mouth. And third, we also get a lot of insights from these moms, which you were talking about getting from employees. We
Hmm.
get it from these mom consultants, because the idea is to get insights from somewhere so that you can vet it. But it's not necessarily that you have only your employees who can do that. You can also run programs like these so that you get these insights. A lot of baby products, people give gifts to moms and all and ask them for feedback, their recommendations, ask them to become influencers or promote it to their friends. So in the mom and baby product space, I think which this is very common. So we didn't face any problem in getting those insights and those mom consultants.
Okay. Okay, I think that you answered it very nicely. Uh, I only have two more questions left. One is, how do you compare entrepreneurship with a 9 to 5 job?
Again, this is a very nice question, I would say. So both have their own pros and cons. I would not say which is better or which is worse. It depends on every individual what they want. But in terms of features, I would say in a 9 to 5 job, you always have a steady stream of income. You know that at the end of the month, I will get this particular amount credited in my bank account. Second is generally you only work on a problem that is given to you or a problem that you are working on at one time, and you have the support of other colleagues, other bosses or managers that you have to help you out in that. With entrepreneurship, I think it is more of a risky environment. First, you don't know whether you will succeed or not. You have just taken a big bet, although you might be making every possible effort you think you can. Sometimes the market and the consumers decide if the product will be successful or not. It's not entirely in your hands. And second is obviously there's a financial risk. You don't have a steady stream of income. You might even have to invest some of it from your pocket. Third is, like I mentioned, in 9 to 5 job, you have your colleagues to support. In entrepreneurship, you have to go out of your way to find your set of mentors, your set of advisors, your set of friends who you want to speak about your problems. Everybody does not want to think about what problems you are facing. They just want to enjoy their life after 5 p.m. They just want to enjoy it the way they want. But with entrepreneurship, you have to sacrifice some of those. Again, but it's highly enjoyable also if you have the risk taking appetite. I would say you learn a lot in a 2 year entrepreneurship job versus a 2 year 9 to 5 job. So that is certainly I can vouch for learning experience.
Okay. Twisha, my last question to you. How do you suggest our audience to get started on entrepreneurship? Now, let me tell you a bit about our audience. They're students and young people who may be into their first job, or been thinking about starting something of their own. But they're in a typical pre-entrepreneurship phase. How would you suggest they get started?
So I think your audience is mostly either students or people who have just started your job. So kids in the range of I think 19 to 24, 25. I think that would be the age group of your
Yep.
audience, right?
Yep.
So for them, I would definitely suggest that that is a very good age to actually explore entrepreneurship, because you don't have any financial risks, you don't have any obligations, any liabilities still. So for them, what I would suggest is everybody has a background. Some of your audience might be from an engineering background, some of them might be from a business or operations or product background. Look at what you are good at. Try to find a problem that either you have faced or that exists in the society. You don't have to quit your job if you are unsure. Quitting a job is a very high end game. Even before quitting a job, there is always time in a day when you're working at a job, or even if you are studying. You always get 5 to 6 hours that you can take out from your schedule. Try to focus those 5 to 6 hours on solving problems. If you have a design background, make the design yourself. Ask any other friend of yours to develop the product, because this age group, the friend circle network is also very good. A lot of people have college friends. If they are in college, they already have that network there. So the network is really in for them. For me, like, I'm 30 years old now, most of my friends want to start a family. They don't want to leave their well paying job now to come and join me. But for a 22, 23-year old, you'll always find your network. Even if they're not leaving their job, ask them if they can make something, because that is the best age for you to explore. And even if you're not successful, even if you don't get the guts to leave your job, once you start seeing 50 bookings, 2000 bookings per month, you will get that motivation ki, theek hai, I have built something. I think the user base is growing. Now you also get that motivation to actually convince your parents, convince yourself that I can now leave my job, get involved into this full time. So take the first gut part time if you don't want to do it full time first. It will really give you insights, and it will also help you know if you really want to do it or not. Some people think that they want to do it, but when they start doing it, they realize that no, this is too much for me. So
Mm.
try to understand yourself and deep dive into what you are good at and find people to support you. That would be my advice to them, because that's the best stage for you to explore.
Okay. Any final message before we end?
So again, I would just suggest that a lot of people think that they want to do something, but they don't find the energy and the courage to do it. Just go out, do it. This is the best thing that you can do. There's no regrets, and there's nothing like you will not be able to find a new job. Job market is always looking for talented people. So if you have that experience, you learn something while doing it. Don't worry about finances, about finding job, about any of such job security things, because this is a one-stop experience. You should explore it if you've ever thought of doing it. So that would be my only suggestion for anyone, encouraging them to start, because India needs more entrepreneurs and more problem solvers
Hmm.
in today's date.
Right. Right. Twisha, on that note, I would close this session. It was a great pleasure to host you here at ELI, and I think our audience would have got very defining lessons from this video. Thanks for your time, Twisha, and our best wishes for Learnify.
Thank you. It was great to speak with you. Thank you so much. Bye
Viewers, you
bye.
can follow and connect with Twisha on LinkedIn by searching for Twisha Prasad. Also, do visit their website by typing learnify.com. So, whom do you want to have here at ELI for next episode? Do let me know in comments below. We'll be back. Stay tuned to ELI.